tonight we're broadcasting the the adult elimination. To call all of the action is Michael Fisher. So we've got some of the top Rocket League players that have been split throughout the whole summer into these teams. So some have kind of shined. And this week is really the last. Around That's what I was thinking too. It's like this is their last chance. If they get 2 losses, they're going to be out of the bracket. So they got so many tough teams to go up against, but they really have been grinding very hard in practice to try to improve. So we'll see. We kind of have the top teams, kind of the Scorpions looming over everybody. We have some underdog teams. We got a mix of everything here, but a lot of great talent to show off. And as we're ready to start the first match, we want to remind our friends on Twitch to support your team, celebrate their successes, but of course be respectful to other fans. Mods will move anyone who's violates chat rules. Let's take a look at the lineups, or just the general state of play of how everything has been going on throughout this whole summer. There have been 4 teams, the Barracudas, the Vipers, the Scorpions, and the Lynxes, as Fish was saying, who have been competing for honor and glory in the Summer Invitational. This week marks the start of the final bracket stage of that Summer Invitational. As the season turns to fall, one last try to get a hoorah in the summer to try to show who you're made of, what you're made of, and prove your mettle is what these teams are going after. But before they do that, they need the best. They need the best skills and strategies to be able to perform well. And to do that, they need Doc's Keys to the Game, presented by Esports Tower. And in Rocket League, that's to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. It's all brought to you by Esports Tower. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched up with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. The first match of the night is our first quarterfinal match versus the Scorpions and the Vipers. So the 2 teams that we kind of highlighted, we can see the lineups there, are going to be competing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match again. The Vipers, as you see there on the left side, I know like Tokei's the one player in particular. Coaches have been like, bro, like take a break from the game. Like he has been going so hard every single open moment he has to try and get this Vipers team over that hump. But I mean, it's the 4th best team in Esports Tower. Like finishing 4th in this, while it might feel bad, you're still like the best of the best overall. So you can't be too upset. Again, also I think the coaches are going to say maybe these teams might start to implode as, we go into that fall, some players leaving. So it's kind of your last chance to play with teammates you've been playing with for the last 2 months, go out on a high note. Again, this is going to be a tough task. The Scorpions, I mean, like this could not be a worse draw for the Vipers. I've been trying to hype them up, but like the Scorpions, they just don't. I mean, it was Doc's key. Make mistakes. They don't make mistakes.
That's the problem.
They're literally robots. I'd like to get them scanned to make sure they aren't sentient AI, because they don't make mistakes. They're not flashy. They just don't make mistakes, and it's so crazy that they're so consistent at it.
Last week, when we were watching the final group stage matches of this same tournament, that was the main thing that was hovering over everyone in 3rd and 4th place minds is, you don't have to finish in 1st, but just make it so you don't get drawn up against the Scorpions your first round. But the Vipers are going to be thrown into the deep end of the pool, so to speak, as we get off to our first game.
And Nano's going to get possession off the kickoff here for the Scorpions. Going to be able to carry this one over 1, over 2. But a nice save there by Enzo in the last line of defense, but he does lose the ball. Tokei should be able to blast it down to him. Pass, though, is going to be intercepted here.
The baby is going to try to round it a corner, set it up for Potato, who just whiffs on that. But overall, first 30 seconds are pretty dominant in favor of the Scorpions, but Vipers looking to change that with their own centering. But you see Zydra demoed up on field, so he couldn't follow through with that one. That means that the ball is cleared, and the Scorpions are now going to try to find a goal again.
Oh, Potato's got a great chance there, but Tokei with a nice save right above the crossbar, gets around 1. Can't quite get around Gababy. It's a solid play. I mean, still no shots for the Vipers at all. Now Potato off the wall, but a nice steal there by Zydra. Nano, one chance to follow this up. He's got a teammate near mid. Toke is going to blast that one away as well. At least give the Vipers some breathing room.
Potato is going to try to wrestle it away from Toke, then try to interfere in the goal. Nano with just one very delayed flick. Was waiting for that one and it paid off.
But they just never lost possession. I think that was the third or fourth attempt on the goal the Scorpions had. Finally, the rotations break down. Enzo has to dodge multiple demo attempts, and the Scorpions score first. 4 minutes on the clock. Still plenty of time here for the Vipers. They have a great chance as Enzo's going to get this ball off the wall. Potato will just bounce that one over to his teammate. And once again, Scorpions' strong defense. Not going to allow any shots on goal.
Enzo is then going to be getting able to get one tap on it. Goes past mid. Is kind of shoving Gababy out of the way. Potato looking for someone to pass to in mid, but he's going to have to pass it way over to the other side where Nano is. Vipers are doing kind of good job so far of kind of preventing these passes the Scorpions are looking to get to clear. Problem is, can they do more than just disrupt? Can they set themselves up for a goal? They're going to try, but Toke is also trying to get rid of Potato. But that demo doesn't turn into a goal opportunity for the Vipers. Now they're back on defense.
And a great demo on the goalie. The net's wide open.
Wow.
And Nano puts it in. It looks like there was a double commit a little bit earlier on that long clear. The Vipers pretty much committed everything, and when you overcommit, things like that are going to happen, Gem, and now it's 2-0 Scorpions lead.
Still not out of the realm of possibility, but everything that we've seen so far, I mean, the Vipers haven't even been credited with one shot on goal. It's been mainly Nano, who I was going to say he's kind of been the ringleader, but he gets demoed by Enzo. So maybe they're going to try to use that to stunt the momentum of the Vipers as they move into the corner. Zydra setting it up. It's right in front of the goal, but the follow-up is just a bit late for the Vipers, so they aren't going to be able to score. They have to be very careful on these recontests that Potato's trying to do right here. The counterattacks can be so furious from the Scorpions. Toke gets a good shot that he was looking for, sends it over to the corner.
Potato already back there, though. He's going to take it all the way down. Nano's going to follow it up. Just misses the hat trick. For Potato will finish it for him as Gababy came flying in there as well, and it's just another textbook goal here for the Scorpions, Gem, as they build this lead to 3-0 now with about half the game gone.
They are merciless in their pursuit for victory. The Scorpions, we've been talking about how they're the top team. Out of the four, we've had four kind of tournaments, if you will, in the Summer Invitational event. They've won 2 out of the 3 held so far, so if they win tonight, it'll be 3-4 victories Scorpions. And they are showing no signs of slowing down as Potato tries to play it around Enzo. All doesn't go his way. Toke sees the opening, the pass over to Enzo at the front post. It's not going to find a goal. Now they got to take it away from Nano. Zydra drives over him. That leaves it wide open for Gababy to continue pushing it up the field. They're going to go off to the side. Potato gets demo. Crucial demo at that. That's going to prevent the follow-up and give the Vipers some time to clear.
Oh, it's a great chance for Enzo, but Potato is there like he always is. Toke goes just over the ball. Zydra takes a shot. Enzo with the follow-up, and finally the first shot attempt for the Vipers, but it's turned away. They do have some pressure, though. Baby going to look to clear this one as Nano just to his right. Ends up overdriving the ball a little bit, forcing Nano to adjust. But in the end, the Scorpions still have possession on the Vipers side of things. Potato going to rip the shot, but a nice save by the goalie.
Gababy with a bounce off of the wall. Make that 2, setting up for Potato. Now Nano. Double commit on the save is going to be what Vipers have to do to prevent it from going 4-0. Now just a little over a minute on the clock left. That's what the Vipers needed.
Finally, Enzo gets a goal. I think he had a teammate. Yeah, Zydra was crashing in there as well, just trying to be disruptive. And that's the first mistake we've seen. It took him 4 minutes, Gem, to double commit on a ball for the Scorpions. They don't make mistakes very often, and the Vipers at least finally capitalize on the one they've made.
Enzo, throughout the Summer Invitational, has been such a key player for the Vipers. If they need a rally, he's the one to try to rally them to victory. Toke shot on goal, going to be denied by Nano, but it looks like the Vipers are alive and ready to play. They're going to try to play past Potato, who gets a tap, leaves it for Nano to go around the corner. It goes past the midfield marker. Zydra rotating back to intercept it. He's going to leave it for Enzo. They're able to clear it off the wall. Now they got to play around Gababy back to mid. A double commit there. Might leave the Vipers wanting. They need to rotate back fast enough. That's dangerous. And they just get away with it.
Nano's still keeping that play alive, though. One more goal might really kind of end the Vipers' chances here with a great steal by Gababy. So we'll be cleared down, but again, Potato's right there. The Scorpions just have such crisp rotations. Nano tries to reject that one on goal. Can't quite find it. 30 seconds left. Vipers They need a miracle here, and this could end it all, but Toke has possession. He's got a wide open net in front of him. There's one man to beat. Potato will stop him in his tracks.
All comes down to a battle of pride in those 1v1 situations. It's really the team play that's been good for the Scorpions as Gababy leaves it for Potato. Gonna just do kind of a shot over. Looks like they're just keeping it to themselves to run out the timer. Gababy's gonna ground it, let it hit the ground. As soon as it takes a bad bounce though, and now they're gonna end it. Scorpions winning that pretty solidly, 3-1, and you see the total shots on goal very dominant in favor of the reigning champs.
Yeah, I mean, again, this just really proves. I mean, that game was a textbook example of what we've been talking about with the Scorpions all summer Invitational long. I mean, none of those goals were something that are going to drop your jaw. They're not going to, pop up on any highlight reels, but they're just textbook goals that coaches are going to love. And they just don't make mistakes, Jim. Every single time the Vipers try to clear that ball, Potato is there usually. He's been kind of that defensive stalwart. He just grabs the ball, stops the clear, dribbles it upfield to his teammates. I mean, you have to really win a game against Scorpions 1-0 because they're not going to make more than one mistake a game.
And I think you need to prevent them from, if you're going to win 1-0, you need to prevent them from scoring. And the way to do that is I think the Vipers really need to kind of clean up their rotations on offense. I mean, the Scorpions attack so fast on their counterattacks back toward the goal. You saw so many times in that first match, the Vipers would have the ball for maybe 30 seconds to a minute trying to set up some sort of shot on goal. And then just one clear from the Scorpions turns into a goal.
The other thing is I think the Vipers got to work on their defense because usually it was kind of like get possession and clear it. But as we talked about, Potato's going to be there, so they just need to slowly pass the ball upfield. Don't just blast it away and try and reset the play because most of the time the Scorpions are going to be there. But maybe game 2 will have something different in store for the Vipers here as they look to even up this series. And off the kickoff, Toke's flying in. Takes a great shot. Enzo has to follow up, but he just goes over the ball, Jim. That would have been a great opportunity to score early in this game.
Now they're going to have to switch from scoring early to just keeping the Scorpions from scoring early. Potato doesn't get the clear he wanted, though. Gababy is going to be disrupted by Toke. Now has possession in the corner, facing up against Nano. Now he's just going to give a soft touch, slow play, allow play. Actually, he's just going to take it himself past the midfield marker. Zydra's also demoed, and the Scorpions see blood in the water and capitalize.
Potato with the great little flick goal there. Again, you can't just clear this ball away. Enzo needed to probably try and maintain possession there, and I mean, that just goes past 2 in the goal. I mean, that's just a fantastic shot by Potato. There's not really much you can blame the Vipers for there. It's just a perfect shot. But again, still early. We've seen some signs of life from them here at the end of the game, but now Baby almost had a wide open net. Nano might have one here. He's going to try and play it off the wall, but unfortunately his second touch a little bit too high.
Watch out for Potato. Though can be very explosive on just slow playing it and waiting for the time to shoot. Speaking of waiting, Nano is able to stop the onslaught from the Vipers. Enzo tries to keep it going. Potato beats them to it. There's the breakaway for the Scorpions. Gababy rolls in, plays it around 1, plays it around 2. Can one dunk it into the goal? Nano tries to do that, setting it up for Potato. And that was almost another goal from the Scorpions.
Well, they're not done yet. They still have possession. Nano going to try and set it up once again for his teammate. This one goes over now. Potato in a one-on-one, and he wins that battle easily. Nice steal there with the dunk in midfield. At least gives the Vipers a chance. Enzo flying in. He's a little bit too low. Potato is going to clear that ball out of harm's way and force the Vipers to look for a reset here as Zydra sends it up in the air, but there's nobody there.
Off the wall, Gababy double taps it, leaves it for Nano. Back over to midfield. Potato is not even going to have to play again. He just casually drives past 2. Now Gababy puts it off the near backboard, trying to leave it up. Zydra with the save, gonna clear it off to the side and get demoed for his troubles.
Maybe possession, one tap over to Nano, but nice intercept by Enzo, who can now take it upfield. Probably has his teammates behind him. Here's Zydra to get a great touch on this, but can't quite sneak it around Gababy. Toki there to stop. Would have been an open goal situation, but again, the Scorpions are just not allowing the Vipers to have much possession. It's one touch, and that goal almost goes in. It's off the crossbar from Enzo.
Good opportunity, and another one trying to take advantage of it. But it's not going to be. They're just going to have to settle for their 3 shots on goal. It is a lot more even, though, in the team's attempts to get goals this round. The Vipers are definitely trying. They aren't letting the Scorpions build up as much of a lead. A demo in the corner tries to make them set it up. Potato gets just one tap, but it's grounded right before the goal, giving the Vipers enough time to clear. And Gababy on the follow-up is disrupted to keep the Vipers from being scored on.
Nano takes possession away, but Enzo was hanging out in the goal. But the Vipers need offense just as bad as they need defense. As Gababy does lose this one, they need to try and find a way to tie this game up. But Nano's going to keep the pressure on, tries to brute force it in. Zydra now in the goal. These are great rotations by the Vipers. Oh, nearly had a rule one, but Enzo kind of bounced out of it. Zydra at least got it back to midfield, but again, the Scorpions take possession. Nano looking for Gababy, who is looking for the demo. It gets cleared out once again, but not very far out of the Vipers' side as Potato's shot just goes in front of the net.
Even if it's not scoring, they've denied them enough clear to just keep on peppering shots on goal. Demo onto Potato. Enzo tries to play it above Nano, but Nano still getting the tap he was looking for. Maintain the control that the Scorpions have held. Baby with a shot off the rough. Tokay might have an opening here, but it's wide off to the corner. Nano now looking for the clear. Not to Potato, instead going to slow play toward Gababy. And that's going to get caught in the corner. But look out for Potato here. That's a big clear by Enzo.
So it was about a minute-long possession for the Scorpions on the Vipers side. Now's a great chance to tie it as Tokay can't find anything. Zydra's going to clear it towards the mid. Nearly goes in. Gababy had to make a fantastic save on that one. And now the Vipers have some life. Tokay can't quite beat Nano to that ball, so they are going to lose possession here as we start the final 30 seconds of game number 2.
Wide shot, up to the side. Enzo, look at that disruption right onto Potato. They're trying to clear out the goal. But Nano is just going to pull off some acrobatics, get it back to midfield. Potato is trying to demo Enzo. It's not going to pay off in a goal. Instead, they're just going to trade demos back and forth. Now with 10 seconds left, it's do or die for the Vipers to clear it and get a goal of their own. One final goal here would do it for the Scorpions. They don't even need the goals. The timer hits 0. That's going to be it unless a goal can be scored by the Vipers. They're trying to keep it up in the air to do so. Scorpions looking for that grounding shot. Still haven't found it, and there they go.
Yeah, that was a very, very close game number 2, but I mean, that just speaks to how good the Scorpions are. I mean, the stats clearly show they were in possession for most of the game, ended up taking 2/3 of the shots. And I mean, the Vipers had almost a perfect game. They just allowed that one goal, which, I mean, again, that was just a fantastic shot by Potato. He flicked it past 2 members. I mean, you really can't ask for the Vipers to have done anything more in that game, Jam. They just had a couple of shots hit off the crossbar. But again, you play a perfect game, and the Scorpions still beat you 1-0, and you have to go into game 3 facing a drop down to the lower bracket saying, like, what else can we do?
And that's mainly the question that they have to figure out, because the Scorpions do. I did see the Scorpion. I think the one mistake I caught for the Scorpions was there was one double commit on a shot on goal there, but it still worked out toward a save. And I almost think the thing for the Vipers, actually, that I'm thinking of is I think maybe their follow-up game is something that could be improved upon, because the Scorpions, all 3 members, when they're trying to get a goal, all 3 members are in on it. They are rotating so far back up to get the continuous shots on goal. One eventually goes in. I don't see that as much from the Vipers.
The problem is, I mean, the Scorpions, they do that, Jim, but then anytime there's a long clear, it feels like, you know, Potato somehow teleported back there. But we kick off game 3. Scorpions trying to move on to the semifinals on the winner's side of the bracket. The Vipers, again, if they go down, they'll still have a second chance in the lower bracket, but they'd love nothing more to keep this series alive as Tokay puts it towards the net. Zydra going to come in and recenter, but there's that lack of ball you're talking about, Jim. Nobody there, so it's an easy clear for the Scorpions.
Shot way up high. Not going to be able to be followed up there. Potato is trying to find the clear. Wacky bounce is going to push it past mid. Back over into Vipers territory. Gababy just kind of muscling his way through. But finally, the ping pong works out in favor of the Vipers, allowing them to clear. Might be setting up a shot here for Enzo. The angle, the ball just goes way up high with almost no forward momentum, leaving it for the Scorpions to clear yet again.
Oh. That is unfortunate. It's, you know, if it was real soccer, that would be credited as an own goal as Potato's shot goes wide. Tokay's just trying to come in because, I mean, that That ball could have easily scored. You really can't fault what he did there. But unfortunately it goes into the Scorpions will once again strike first. But again, the Vipers held them only 1 goal last game, so
oh my goodness.
There was 3 Scorpions closer to the goal than any Vipers player. That is very rarely seen.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Vipers just have an all-in mentality, right? They might have. I can't get inside their heads, but all 3 of them just charged forward off of that kickoff. No one hanging back by the goal. We'll see if they can clean that up on this next kickoff, as Gababy is going to look to play around them again. Another kickoff, more pressure on the goal. And it's rotating around. It's just going to fall back, wait for the clear from the Vipers, and then answer it back.
Kind of a double commit there. The Scorpions do still end with the ball right in front of the net.
Oh. Wow.
Potato's going to put in the 3rd of the game already for the Scorpions. I mean, hey, the Vipers have tried everything. If it's all-out aggression, that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But the Scorpions are going to make them pay. And now you've already dug yourself a very deep hole. It's still 3.5 minutes left, Jem, but 3 goals against the Scorpions feels like almost unheard of at times.
Yeah, 3 goals in 3 minutes and 33 seconds in the 3rd game of the series. And Nano trying to make that 4 goals and leaves it for Potato, who's happy to pick up his hat trick.
Scorpions clearly just wanted to get this series over with, stay up on the top side of the bracket after, you know, a pretty close game 1 and game 2. They've kind of just opened the floodgates. And you get top team for a reason. 3 titles in 4 tries would be absolutely insane when you're considering this is the best of the best, but maybe the Vipers have a chance here. Enzo will put in a goal, and okay, the hope may be coming back a little bit.
Still quite within the realm of possibility. Beautiful sees that Nano can't rotate back fast enough. And it is usually Enzo when the Vipers are counting on a player to rally things back. I think he had a 3-goal rally a few weeks ago. Almost was able to turn a whole series back in the Vipers' favor. So watch out for Enzo.
Enzo's back in the net. We're going to get this ball here. Dribble it upfield, has a 1-on-2, flicks it around Nano, but Nano is able to recover. Toke gets a nice shot. Unfortunately, it's not quite fast enough, also a little off target. And now a huge clear down puts the Scorpions, well, briefly in possession of the ball. As Gababy will steal it away from Enzo here, looking for a play, but Toke in the great spot, going to deny that rebound. It's Potato who steals it near that midfield strike, but no follow-up, and he will get a demo on his way out.
More demos, more pressure. Potato line and wait for the shot on goal, a little bit too high, giving the Vipers just a little bit of breathing room, but not much. The Scorpions still hunting after that goal. And Nano sees it, gets the 5th.
So once again, one of those just really good shots here. Plays that ball perfectly. I mean, as you mentioned, Jem, they go all in at goals on time. Even Gababy was there to redirect it if needed. And Nano's going to make it 5-1 Scorpions here. 2.5 minutes just under left on the clock in game 3. Scorpions eyeing a clean sweep in this game and almost had a 6th goal here in game number 3.
Yeah, I suppose gentlemen's agreements and camaraderie is dead in this game because the Scorpions just want as much as they can take. Potato gets a demo onto Toke. Gababy follows that up in mid. Toke again, fresh off the respawn, is going to be able to get a save. Now he's going to try to turn that into some offense, but Potato is a great elevate, disrupts the ball, leaves it for Nano. Toke answers back in midfield. He's trying as much as he can to get it back over. Zydra with the redirect misses on that, so leaves it for Enzo, and Gababy was waiting right there and saves.
Gababy with a great predict on the Enzo shot. Now he's going to take it upfield. Does get stolen away by Toke, who with a great little side touch there, gets it around Potato, centered down Zydra, but Nano beats him to the ball just by a smidge. And now doing a great job blocking for his teammate. Potato going to play that one off the wall. He dropped down under a minute. The Vipers are going to need a furious rally. And Enzo not able to corral that ball. Toke isn't either. That's a wide open net for Potato, and something tells me he's not going to miss. He even gets the demo on the way out for the 6th goal of the game for the Scorpions.
And really it's a situation the Scorpions haven't found themselves in. Even though I say that they go in so hard on the goals, there's been no opportunity where they've been scored on an open goal like this. Instead, it's been the Vipers who leave an open goal. The Scorpions punish them for it. 6-1 now with just over a minute left. A demo from Toke onto Gababy. Might be trying to start something, but the question is, what can you do at this point?
Yeah, you just got to keep, playing your game. You might see this team again. It is double elimination, so if you can figure out what worked well in Game 2 of this series and use that in the final minute here, anything could be a building block for the Vipers, because really outside of this game, this series has been quite close. This game's kind of going to put a sour taste in the Vipers' mouths. The Scorpions looking for number 7. Not quite able to find it for now, but there's still 40 seconds left as Enzo goes for the clear. Not quite able to find it. And now here comes Nano. Ball goes right over him here in the final 30 seconds.
And it's just going to trickle in to make it a Brazil, no less. Good baby. I don't think that was even intentional. I was just probably even just trying. Well, no, that could have been a redirect there. It's just, that's how good their aim can be.
I probably just, hit it towards the goal. It either bounces in or bounces off the crossbar, gives your team an opportunity. And the Scorpions have had plenty of those in this game. 7-1. Enzo maybe trying to at least get one back here again. Figure out what worked. You'll have some time as you wait in the lower bracket for the rest of this sort of double elimination tournament to materialize. Figure out things again. You never know what can happen. The Scorpions and the Vipers have had their close moments. But I think time will tick down on this series and this game. The Scorpions almost get number 8. The crossbar not feeling it. One last chance turned away here, Jem, and the ball will touch the ground and end this series. The Scorpions, our top team, will advance. But again, I think this 7-1 scoreline really not indicative of how imbalanced this series was. I mean, Game 2 was an absolute nail-biter. Game 1 was close to the final minute. So I think the Vipers played pretty well, and that 7-1 scoreline is just going to leave a bitter taste in their mouth as they head down to the lower bracket.
Well, Fish, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills, and we certainly saw that with the Scorpions, just playing off each other to get shot after shot on goal, leaving them with the 7-1. Can see how far the Scorpions have come since they first joined Esports Tower. And Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. Shout out to Coach Jake, and for those of you watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. So the Scorpions win their quarterfinal and advance to the semifinal. So the Vipers are going to have to be, like you said, leaving and waiting. But now we get to kind of the two teams which I would say almost are kind of the crowd favorites. I mean, when these two teams are playing on stage, they've got their own cheering sections, family members coming to cheer for them. It's going to be the Lynxes versus the Barracudas.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are kind of that middle ground where it feels like either team can beat the one. I think this was actually the grand final matchup at the end of round 3 with the Barracudas taking the win over the Lynx. I think the Lynx have been, I want to say the runner-up in 2 of the 3 tournaments so far. So they're trying to finally crack through. I think they have been maybe the most consistent finisher behind the Scorpions, and basically are it's going to be Scorpions Lynx, and they're going to battle it out. So this could go either way, Jim. I'm very excited, as you said. These teams have been the crowd favorites. I know Greed may be the guy who's stolen the spotlight, but I can't wait to see this matchup because this is probably going to go 5 games. I just have to guess because neither of these teams give an inch against each other.
Well, we're going to find out. We will be back very shortly with the second game of this Esports Tower Summer Invitational bracket stage. Look out because the next quarterfinal will be right back after this break. We will take it Barracudas, versus the Lynxes. Getting ready to play. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at Count.com.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. Scorpions are on to the semifinals, and it's now time to decide who will join them as the Barracudas and Lynx face off against each other. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer. Joining me to call all the action is Michael Fish Fisher. And Fish, we were talking before the break. You said, Lynxes and Barracudas. Definitely fan favorites, Greed being a player that a lot of people cheer for, but I have to say the Lynxes have a one-up card against that argument. They were the only ones to have a family member bring a homemade sign to cheer them on.
I mean, that is true, yeah. The Lynx have definitely had they probably had the biggest traveling party, that is for sure. I think the rest of the more neutral crowd definitely leaned towards the Barracudas. But, I mean, on the field, these two teams have been absolutely spectacular. I know coming into this event, the Lynx were kind of maybe the favorites of the whole Summer Invitational, and well, I'm sure they're disappointed they haven't won anything yet. I mean, again, it's literally been, I think, like second place almost every time, maybe except once. So they are getting to the grand finals. They just need to finish the job. And the Barracudas have been the wild card. I mean, they have like the ET, like, lifetime achievement member, if you will, in Quez, who has basically been here since, like, the beginning. He has done everything possible in Esports Tower, and he has done even more in this Summer Invitational. So I'm really excited. I mean, again, wouldn't be shocked if whoever loses this game takes down the Vipers and maybe plays this. We get a rematch of this in the grand finals. Maybe we get the rematch of this in the losers finals. I don't know, but I do know that this is going to be a very, very tightly contested series, and that I think the Lynx may want some revenge after how round 3 ended, and they really kind of got their first chance at the title stolen away from them by the Barracudas.
Well, they can try to get some revenge. Another thing they're going to be searching for is, of course, scholarships as they're looking to graduate. And we want to take a moment to congratulate all the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have been awarded over $3.1 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard in their in-game play, but academically, and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that have received these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see the opportunities these players are getting. So we've been talking so much about these two teams, the Barracudas and the Lynxes, but we can now see in a little bit more detail the exact players. Of course, we have got, a great team dynamic between Thrift, Adrift, Lemming, and Wild. Quezard, like you were saying, the MVP, Greed, and Crayon not one to be counted out either. He's made some flashy plays as well.
Yeah, these two teams are absolutely stacked. I mean, we've seen every single one of these players take over a game at times, as you mentioned. I mean, Thrift and Wilds have been together on multiple teams for the last year or so in Esports Tower. They kind of were that dynamic duo coming into this, and I think Adrift Lemming has really slotted in really well into this team as like a third player. I know coming in, the coaches kind of talk like, the Lynx is kind of going to be up in the air. This team's either going to do really well or they're just going to implode on each other. The coach has been really impressed how Thrift, Adrift, and Wilds have kind of just come together. And like we talked about the Vipers putting in work, the coaches have said like after every single Lynx loss, which unfortunately has come in the grand finals, like they're like in the lab, like okay, what did we do wrong? Like we can beat this team. Here's where we made a mistake in this game. Like they've been saying like, oh yeah, we should have won this game easily. So the Lynx feel like they have it all figured out. They just finally need to win the grand finals because they have beat every team, just not in the game that mattered the most, Jim.
Well, perhaps the missing keys to figuring it all out lie in Doc's keys to the game, and that'll be to create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Brought to you by Esports Tower. Improve your gameplay, improve your team sense and performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Lynx are looking for another chance to play the Scorpions, but first they have to get past the Barracudas. So who is going to win in our second quarterfinals? Moving on to the upper bracket finals. Let's jump into the arena and find out who is going to get the victory. And into the first kickoff we go.
Reed's going to be the one to claim this one, but Thrift's already back there. Going to take it right up the field. He's had a drift below him, but instead he tries to take it himself. Quez going to get the clear. A drift with a great shot. Immediately cleared away. Great defense here by the Barracudas, but Wilds has an opportunity. He's got a drift racing in as well. Cran just enough to get that away from a drift and not able to put that ball in the back of the net.
Quez with a shot up and high to the right, easily cleared by the Barracudas, and in fact the Lynx have to be left scrambling to get back toward the goal.
As you say that, the Lynx put that ball in on the back of the net. A fantastic job by Thrift. And already they have the lead, but Greed might be able to get this one back. Oh, that ball just outside. Quez is going to get demoed, however. Wild should be able to clear this ball away. Thrift now, huge clear. And the Lynx now going to get a bit of a reset here, maybe even a chance at another goal.
Drift and Wilds are going to rotate back. Wilds beats Greed to the punch with that. Drift to ground it. I think he's trying to pass to Wilds, then leave it for Quez, actually. Quez tries to get the goal for the Barracudas, but it's not going to go through. Reed still sees a chance for the equalizer, but is denied by Thrift. Rayon trying to salvage the play. Here goes Quez up against a drift. 50-50 is going to be kind of dead in the center of the field, leaving Wilds able to pick it up.
Thrift demoed midair, but he did get the touch on the ball, but Cran going to be able to clear that one away. Fleming off the side of the wall. That ball's just bouncing towards the goal, and the demo kind of created some confusion, and the Lynx get a wide open goal somehow.
Well, they'll certainly take whatever they can get, push them up to 2-0. Like we said, they want to go back into the grand finals for that revenge. But Thrift is going to make it a bit. Thrift is not going to be able to keep the play going, unfortunately for them. So it's forced Wilds to try to find a clear. Maybe pass back to a drift, but a drift actually looks like he's going off to the side to get some boost. Thrift having to play defense there. Can he turn that into a clear? Quez makes it difficult for him. He passes back to mid. Wilds waiting for that pass and has it wide open to clear it.
Well, looks like Greed is going to be the one to stop that. Quez gets the ball around Thrift. The drift back on the net one-on-one. And the drift will just get the touch on that to force that ball away. Now, Cran and Greed right next to each other actually bump into each other, and that allows the Lynx to grab possession. Now Drift Fleming had the ball. Thrift ends up kind of playing it over him, sets him up for another shot. It's turned away by Greed right in front of that orange box.
Quez to push it around the corner, and unfortunately, I think that was a drift contributing to that. I think he was just trying to get the clear, and unfortunately just took a really bad angle. So the Barracudas off of that might be able to capitalize. They're going to be looking for their second goal and waterfall down. Crayon with the follow-up ties it up.
I even went for the demo on the goalie, and I believe Quez got demoed in all of that, but as you said, still able to tie it up. 2 minutes left. Thrift racing in. He might have a chance for a goal, but great defense by Quez. Be able to turn this one away. Ball shot up in the air. No one really there for the Lynx. So Greed will get that around Wild. It's up to Thrift, final player. But on the defensive side, he gets a huge clear and then some. Get it all the way back over to the orange side of the map.
Quez is going to find himself surrounded by two Lynxes. Quickly answer that back, push it around the corner, setting it up for Thrift. The play goes through.
Thrift picking up another goal for himself. Lynx now with the lead, 90 seconds left, but I would not count the Barracudas out yet. You probably need at least one more goal if you're a Lynx fan to feel confident Right now they're on the attack. Adrift gets a great little side swipe on the ball. Wilds follow up though a little bit outside, and the ball kind of bounces around. Barracudas grab possession. Quez 1-on-3. It's a great clear, but the Lynx should be able to corral this one and stop any attack of their Barracudas.
Reed just takes a kind of a pot shot toward the goal, and I think some disruption by his teammates just left the goal clear wide open.
I do not know how Greed scored that. As you said, just kind of maybe lobbed something on net, threw up a prayer, and it went in. 3-3 now in the final 60 seconds here, game number 1. Lynx have been pretty dominant throughout. Wilds just misses on that ball. Thrift a little bit too far behind, couldn't quite capitalize, but he's going to go back, make sure that there's no go-ahead goal scored for the Barracudas. As they look to maintain possession, goes around Greed. Wilds gets a nice touch on it in the final 45 seconds.
Thrift is able to prevent that clear, maybe even set it up for Wilds here. He's going to elevate up, get one tap, but it bounces off the backboard. Barracudas try to find their breakaway shot, but it's not going to happen. Thrift might be able, you see Quez, they tried to clear him out of the goal. The Adrift just went flying past him, so Quez was able to clear it, leave it for Crayon, and Adrift is going to defuse that situation.
I don't know how Adrift got from one side of the map to the other that quickly. That was a great defensive play. 8 seconds left. Maybe we're even headed to overtime here in game number 1. Final chance here for either team. Ball can't touch the ground. Wilds does keep it alive. Adrift gonna try and air dribble it in, but it's denied. Touches the ground, and we get a reset. We head to overtime here in game number 1, Jim.
First game in this series, and already we're into an overtime. Both these teams showing they're quite evenly matched. Rift's going to try to end it early, but Crayon is able to read that, pass it way back over toward Quez, who's now going to try to play around them, hits the crossbar. Crayon tries to follow up, but Thrift reads the play, is able to prevent it.
Both teams nearly ending this game less than 20 seconds into overtime. Things have started to calm down as the drift shot is turned away. Huge demo there from Wilds onto Greed. He does respawn and get demoed again, but the Lynx really can't make a play out of the 2-on-3, and it's actually Quez with a great pass down to Cran. And it's the Barracudas who strike first in game number 1, picking up the win.
Yeah, the Barracudas certainly have a way of doing that, of finding ways to turn entire games around. They were facing a 2-goal deficit, quickly tied it up to the equalizer, and then won in overtime. Unless it feels like you're getting a lead of 3 goals or more, the Barracudas are still in the game. And even with a 3-goal lead, it's not out of the question.
I mean, I think you could even argue that if the Barracudas somehow jump out to a 3-0 lead in this game, the Lynx can get back. I mean, both these teams have the ability to go on mega runs in terms of goals. Barracudas, as you said, kind of took a couple punches early on, figured out what the Lynx want to do. And, I mean, Greed had just a crazy random goal that kind of just went in out of nowhere. I think if you're the Lynx, you kind of look back out on that game and say, well, I mean, how many times out of 100 does that Greed shot go in? 20, 30? I mean, it was just kind of a random shot on net, maybe a little over-aggressive, but I think if you're the Lynx, you kind of got to come away as happy as you can in a loss, because that game probably should have gone your way if that Greed goal is taken again, but we'll have to see if they can turn things around here. We head in, game number 2.
Drift to set it up. Quick shot onto the goal. Bounces off the crossbar. Gonna leave it tied, scoreless for now. A demo is brought out. It's not really gonna turn into anything, as mainly it's been the Barracudas just having to defend around their goal. They've been having a hard time trying to find a clear. Crayon tries to get it, is gonna find it. Now it heads back over to Quez. Crayon to rotate up. Pass to Drift is gonna be able to take it away from them. Find a huge clear, back over to Greed.
Greed gonna pop it up. Thrift waiting, takes his chance, at least stops that ball as Quez trying to pinch it off his teammate. Wild, a very dangerous back pass. Thrift ended up corralling that one, and now they should be able to clear it down. Wild's kind of waiting, and they're gonna go retreat, go right back in front of the net. Nice rotation there. The Lynx are able to clear it away. Quez with a great steal. Drift Lemming is there. He'll stop any further momentum. But Cran not having that. He's got Greed right near midfield. But Thrift with a fantastic save to push that ball away.
Thrift kind of slow playing it there. Quez almost was able to steal away from him. Now it's going to head over to Adrift, who might try to get a double tap. Greed answers back. Now in the corner, trying to center past Thrift. Thrift steals it away from him. sees the play that he needs to make. He's got to play around Crayon, who just kind of pushes it right back over him. Both these teams have just been lobbing it back and forth toward each other. No team finding the opportunity to score quite yet.
Oh, this might be an opportunity. There's a great demo in net. Wilds trying to pass it down to Thrift. Ball will slowly roll over towards Cran, who gets it around one. Great steal by Adrift Lemming, but Quez makes a great save with a guy all over him. Keeping this in a 0-0 game. Now it's Wild's turn to rip a shot, but he can't quite make it around Cran.
Quez is only going to be able to bop it toward mid. It's now up to Greed. Actually, he doesn't have any boost to make that play, so he's going to have to ground before he picks up more. He does manage to turn it into a clear. Thrift is going to run right into Quez. Quez actually doesn't get the stop he was looking for, and Thrift knows it. They try to push it in with the help of Adrift, but it just, I don't know how that doesn't go in.
You really can't get much closer than that. Thrift, great pass over to Adrift. That shot barely off the crossbar as well. That's two golden opportunities for the Lynx that just barely don't go in, and now they got to be careful on the defensive end. 2 minutes left in this game. Quez looking for an opportunity. Greed's going to put it right in front of the net, but it's great defense by the Lynx. Keep this in a 0-0 game.
Looking ahead, it's either going to be Quez or Crayon to take the play. Quez trying to pass over to Greed, but Greed actually can't play right now because he needs to rotate back to get boost, so it's left up to Crayon. Thrift now past mid, and onto the open goal there. Barracudas, some mispositioning punishes them.
Thrift just goes basically coast to coast. Even kind of got a lucky rebound because one of the members of the Barracudas did get a nose on that ball, but it bounced right to Thrift and into the back of the net. And the Lynx have the lead, and they're looking for more. Thrift waiting, has a drift right below him, but he can't quite recenter that ball. Wild's a great touch on it. Drift gonna put one there as well. Wild's looking for a demo onto Greed. And that ball should be enough to go in. Wilds hits off the crossbar. The Lynx cannot find a way to get closer to the goal at this point, Jim. These balls are gonna start going in.
You would definitely think so. Sometimes that soccer ball has a mind of its own. Barracudas don't want to leave it up to that chance, so they want to try to find a clear. Crayon gets the tap on it. It's going to be pushed back into the wall by Quez in an awkward exchange. Reed to ground it. Back over to Quez. The ball does not take the bounce they were looking for, however. It's back toward their own goal, and Crayon struggling to find the clear. Reed is able to push it to mid, but there's no one to pass to.
Drift gonna get that ball, prevent anything. Nice job by Adrift stealing that boost pad away from Quez. And Drift gonna kind of tee that one up with Adrift, but it is stuffed out by the Barracudas. 40 seconds left. Quez bringing it down, gets it around, but I think Wild's actually made a great touch on that to save that for the Lynx. Adrift now gonna pop it up in the air. Here comes Drift, trying to put this game out of reach, and he does somehow. It's a 2-0 lead with 30 seconds left. I have no idea how that ball snuck past the defenders.
30 seconds. I mean, in the last round, the game was equalized in just basically two back-to-back goals off of 15 seconds, so it's still not out of the realm of possibility for the Barracudas. Can Wild set it up here? Ball takes, I don't know how the ball took that fast of a clear, but it's sent wide over to the other side of the field, leaving the Lynx defending. Maybe if the Barracudas can score here, they can leave it up to a kickoff, but Crayon unable to turn around in time. Burns off the clock. That's going to do it for the second round. Lynx have tied this series up. They're going to be going into game 3, 1-1. It's complicated, 0-0, as Nerdy would say.
See if either team really wants to maybe score a goal, and that's exactly what Adrift will do. So, in the end, the Lynx actually come away with a 3-0 lead. As Jem alluded to, really nothing in those final seconds mattered except for pride. There's no two-point shot in Rocket League, so... I mean, again, that was a fantastic effort. The Lynx, again, I think you could argue played the same way they did in game number 1. They just didn't have a couple of defensive breakdowns. I mean, they probably look at that replay and say, like, we could have had 6, right? I mean, like, right. Wilds had, I think, 2 shots that almost go in. Adrift had another one. But honestly, what blows my mind is how fast this team is. Like, you see Adrift try and demo Quez, and then in a blink of an eye, he's defending on the other side. Wild sets up a play. Somehow he's defending on the other side like 5 seconds later. They are so good at their boost management. They are so good at getting back and rotating. They 3-man dive, and then all 3 of them are back somehow. I don't know how the Lynx play with that much speed.
And there were a couple times for the Barracudas I saw, speaking of boost management, that you could see the play and who they wanted to pass to, but then all of a sudden realize, oh, that person has no boost. They have to rotate back and get some. And that led to a few openings that I think the Lynx has capitalized on. So it really is that mobility around the field, that boost management that I think the Lynx have really improved. And we're going to see if they can continue on that level of gameplay as we head into game number 3 of this best of 5. It's tied up 1-1. So basically from here on out, a best of 3 to decide who is going to be going on to the winners finals to face the Scorpions. Here we go into the next game. Crayon gets the better of that kickoff. Quickly answered back by a Drift, now Greed. Drift is going to be the next one to answer back. Ball is high and slow, allowing Quez to pass it over to Greed. Back over Crayon's head, dangerous situation, and Crayon just barely managing to get control of that.
Crayon had like a nose on a Drift Lemming. If a Drift gets that ball, that is rocketing into the back of the net. But I want to see if the Barracudas can score first. They haven't done it all series. They've basically been playing catch-up with the Lynx at all times. This is a great opportunity. Quez takes a shot, gets a nice rebound, but unfortunately, no follow-up from the team. A Drift is clear, is stolen away. Wild's going to go for the ball, gets a great touch. Unfortunately, does hit off the ceiling, but a Drift going to be right there to clear it away. But Quez just going to grab possession. We'll do it all over again. There's a demo on the goalie, and Quez ain't going to miss that open net. Barracudas strike first in game number 3.
Well, now they have the lead. Now that they have the lead, we'll see how the Lynx try to do on the back foot. Last time the Barracudas had a rally like this in game 1, the Lynx struggled to tie it up and then lost in overtime. Reed is going to try to make it a 2-0, but runs right into the Lynx. Trying to clear it back toward the Lynx, excuse me. Now the Lynx are answering back in mid as a Drift is able to slow play past Crayon. Now has to go past Greed, and Quez goes right under Greed. Quez is the only one left and is going to be the one to find the clear.
Great job by Greed. Now it's Quez, gets a nose on it. Drift is there. Great bump by Wilds, who's looking for a play on the goalie as well, but Greed with a nice challenge. The Drift will rotate back. It's a huge demo, and that should slow down the Barracudas' possession, though Greed not going to give it up. He'll lob a shot on the net. Now the Barracudas will look for a reset here, though Quez trying to keep this play alive. Actually does. Crayon can't quite maintain possession, though.
And another shot on an open goal. This time it's going to be done by the Lynx to tie it up, reset everything. This next kickoff we'll see if any team can capitalize on. Wilds and Drift both of them are off to the right. Now they go flying past the ball. Wilds to rotate back. Plays it past 1, past 2. Quez the final one. A Drift comes to assist with that. It's going to get them some solid pressure now on toward the Barracudas. Can they turn this side control into a goal that gives them the lead?
Ball just kind of bouncing around the midfield line. Finally possession taken here by the Lynx. Wilds over to a Drift Lemming with a great little rebound off the wall there, though. Quez, he's going to grab it. He's going to air dribble. He's going to get demoed. And now in the 2-on-3, can Drift set something up? Right off the wall, a Drift just barely misses. Wilds with the follow-up. Oh, just off the sidewall. Again, the Lynx barely miss a goal, but they're not done yet. A Drift one more time, but Crayon will clear this one away over to Greed. It gets a long blast down into the corner.
That's a great redirect there from Greed. But it's quickly back toward the midfield. Make that the other side of the field. Quez trying to clear is going to get demoed. That's probably the opening for the Lynx. It goes right onto Crayon's roof. A Drift pops it over, and it somehow trickles in.
I think Greed might have unfortunately knocked that one in. That was like Quez who's trying to dribble it along the goal line, but it counts all the same for the Lynx. 2-1 in their favor in game 3. Still 2 minutes left, which is plenty of time for the Barracudas to tie this up, take the lead. The Lynx cannot relax just yet as Crayon gets a huge clear and may even get the follow-up here, but Drift ready for it. Gonna stop that one in its tracks.
Greed tries to elevate up, is going to be able to be successful in that, knock it off to the corner. The Lynx still have possession. See a demo back there. Might be putting a damper on the Lynx's ambition to get a goal. not quite. They still technically, well, they had side control. Now the clear goes through for the Barracudas, looking for the equalizer. Can they set it up? Crayon shot toward goal, and 3 members of the Lynx right in front of the goal to defend.
Crayon's going to keep it alive. Quez right over to Greed. Just a little bit too much of an angle there. The ball will be cleared down, under 60 seconds left. Crayon trying to get control of that ball, ends up having to give it away to Adrift, who had a great challenge. And now Quez, one touch on it. Oh, Greed's right near midfield. Ends up turning back, though, realizing the Lynx had possession. Didn't want to overcommit here these final 40 seconds. You cannot give up another goal if you're the Barracudas. As that ball goes in front of their net.
Drift out of nowhere finding the 3rd goal. That could just be the final decider for the Lynx, making it a very tall task for the Barracudas to get 2 goals in 30 seconds. They're going to try as Crayon starts the play. He's going to play it himself back up toward the near corner, but isn't going to find it. The Lynx deflected way back over to the other side of the field, past mid. Answered back by Quez. Has to find a goal here time-wise. Sends it to Greed, but the shot is way up. In fact, it goes backwards on the field. The angle, thanks to some Lynx disruption, not working out for them, and that's going to do it for this 3rd game. Lynx going into match point.
Yeah, ball touches the ground very quickly as well to end that game. So, yeah, the Lynx, again, I mean, you could argue this probably should have been a 3-0. The Lynx had game 1 in the bag. Unfortunately, it slipped away with them, and then a great overtime goal by the Barracudas. But other than that, I mean, this series has been all Lynx pretty much from start to finish. So the Barracudas have got to find a way. I mean, they finally got the first goal of the series, Jen, but then they allowed 3 straight goals in a row. I mean, this Lynx offensive attack, as you saw, it is all speed. It is all pressure. Barracudas got to find either way to slow things down, or they got to play just as fast as the Lynx do. I mean, it's a tough task, but if anyone can do it, it's probably going to be Quez, just kind of doing his thing, and then Greed and Cran can kind of hop along for the ride. But you either got to slow it way down, or you got to play up to the Lynx. And I don't know which one is easier in this win or drop down to the lower bracket game for the Barracudas.
And it's always a possibility if you get aggressive on the boost starving, you take away their ability to be fast, you can be fast yourself. And I think the Lynx were almost kind of scored in a few opportunities where they were almost scored on, or rather couldn't make the goals that they were looking for because they ran out of boost at the most crucial seconds. So that's kind of the key thing to watch for as we're going into the 4th game. See if the Lynx can't close this out and go on to face the Scorpions. Looking for that revenge we were talking about at the beginning of this match. Let's see if they find it, or if the Barracudas manage to drive this to the 5th and final game. We head into the arena. The first kickoff is going to go through. It's in favor of Adrift, and Wilds is going to take control of that quickly. Misses, though, on that elevate, so it's up to Thrift, now to Adrift, and they're not going to find their goal. Enough time for the Barracudas to recover.
Barracudas have a chance even to make something happen here as Thrift and Adrift run into each other. Cran keeps it alive. Here comes Greed, but it's just too high. But there's Quez to follow it up, and that's what they got to do. You look at the boost, no boost for the Lynx. And it's an easy first goal for the Barracudas here in game number 4.
Ball has a lot of verticality. Quez is going to try to ground it or get control of it. Pushes it past Crayon, so Crayon can't follow up. It's going to be Wilds facing off against Crayon. But no clear. Still side control for Barracudas.
Wilds ended up going for the demo there, but Quez was a little bit too slippery. Been a huge play. Thrift going to pass it back. Wilds, the great little lob shot there on net. Cran in a great position to make that save. Now going to get another touch on it. The Barracudas looking to maybe try and extend this lead. Greed puts this right in front of the net. Here comes Quez. He's looking for an opportunity. He sees it. But Wilds, the excellent steal in front of his net.
Quez to play it under Thrift. Almost trickle it into the goal. Crayon with the follow-up. It's aimed right in the upper right corner. Adrift reads it, finds the save. Barracudas maintain a narrow 1-goal lead. Quez with the save, pushes it off. Wilds intercepted. Quez again continuing his play. Leaves it for Greed, and actually Greed with that disruption. It opens up for Quez. He is not able to find the goal, however. Still a lot of scrappy fighting in mid, with the Lynx still very much in this game.
Wilds, a huge clear. It will be just lobbed right back, and Thrift will put it over the midfield stripe. Adrift now Can't quite beat Greed to the ball. We do get a demo, and Drift shot gonna go high. Here comes Wilds, though. Cran made a fantastic save to get that ball out of harm's way. Then Thrift comes racing in, and Cran does it once again. The Barracudas kind of started to figure things out here. Gem held them scoreless for the first 2 minutes of this game number 4.
Reed actually flies right over Wilds. Leaving it for Crayons. Adrift finds the clear. Wilds deflected back over to Fripp. Quez beats him to the punch. Denies the goal. The Lynx find a follow-up to equalize. Wilds, though, doesn't have the boost to make the play, and he falls back down to the ground. And he's left chasing after the ball, which is almost scored on them.
Let's get a great pass to Adrift, who passes it right back to Wilds off the ceiling. It's a little bit wide. And Adrift, and really actually both Adrift and Cran can't get possession of that ball. Thrift has a little bit of boost, trying to get it past one. You saw a nice demo in the net there, but Reed able to respawn, and nothing too dangerous as the Barracudas cling to this 1-0 lead as Adrift makes a fantastic save to keep us in a 1-0 game. Thrift makes another, but he can't make the third, and Cran will extend the lead for the Barracudas.
All the Lynx have to their name are a good number of saves. They need to find a way to turn it into offense. They're gonna have to defend as a shot on goal from Greed almost goes in. Adrift with the pass back over to Wilds, misses for the clear. Could leave it open, but Adrift recovers. Quez pushes it back toward mid. Great deflect by Crayon, answered by Thrift. Greed sees the possibility here, but Wilds rotates back in. Sets it up for Adrift, who pushes it back toward the goal, and it just trickles in. Lynx showing some life now.
Great shot from Adrift from his own side of the field, but they've got to score at least one more to get us to overtime. They've got about 90 seconds to do it. See if they can find anything, or if the Barracudas once again make it a 2-goal game. Quez gonna dribble it down, basically past the whole team until Adrift makes another fantastic save. Greed centers it up. Cran looking to try and put this one away, but he can't quite do it. Now all 3 members of the Barracudas are on the wrong side of the field, but they make a great stop. They're able to recover as Greed even still somehow has possession of this ball.
Crayon almost gets a shot on goal, but Wilds is right there to save. Greed steals away from them, tries to push it past Thrift. Ball is high back toward mid. Adrift with a shot away from midfield, aimed right, so Quez has to deflect it. Now back with the pass to Greed. Misses. That could leave it open for the Lynx here. We'll see what they do with it.
Lynx have possession. Ooh, Quez does get it around Adrift, but Wilds maintains. Him and Greed actually collide in midair. Thrift! Oh no! Adrift saves it for the wrong team. That would have been the game-tying goal. We'll see if they can find one more of those, as they do find a long clear down. 10 seconds left, Jim. I don't know if they're going to be able to find one more of those.
Just the worst circumstances at the worst time for the Lynx means that they're going to have to fight one more game. That was truly, I mean, I saw what Adrift was going for there. He was trying to further clear out the goal, try to get the disruption, but he misjudged it completely and ended up saving it.
Well, I don't want to say he misjudged it, because that ball did bounce off Cran. I don't think he expected that ball to basically use Cran as a ramp. He probably thought Cran was going to save it, let me recover. I mean, there's nothing you can do, right? I mean, that's like the third time this series the Lynx have just kind of had a play where you're just like, one out of how many times this happened? 100?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
1,000? Like, the ball goes right where Adrift is exiting the goal because it ramps off Cran. The Lynx should have won this series by like 4-0. I mean, if we go down to overtime, it's impossible to say, but I mean, the Lynx just got to put together one more solid game. Again, I mean, no disrespect to the Barracudas, but I feel like the Lynx have been the better team in almost every game. This is probably the first game where the Barracudas, it was basically dead even. So we go to game 5. I say the Lynx have all the momentum, but Barracudas, you just need one more lucky game, and you're moving on to the winners' finals.
Who is going to move on to the winners' finals and take on the top dogs, the Scorpions? It's all going to be decided in one game. Here we go. Both teams now aligned up. First kickoff is going to go toward Wilds. Quez quickly on the rebound. It's going to be Adrift who tries to get a bomber right down into the goal, but it bounces off the crossbar. Savior for the Barracudas in this circumstance. And again, Lynx left with a goal that should have been.
kind of run into each other there, but Greed also kind of lost the ball, so nothing lost there for the Lynx, and now it's Thrift's turn. He scored so many huge goals in this series. Cran with a great steal. Launches it back towards his own net. Quez was there. Thrift going to get possession back, but can't quite sneak it around Greed. And the Lynx haven't found anything yet. The Wilds over to Adrift. Stolen away by Cran at the last second, and now the Barracuda's on the attack, and so Greed goes boom. And the Lynx have possession.
One tap from Thrift. Falls back to the ground. But Adrift wins, recovers. Adrift recovers, takes it from Thrift. Is able to win that 50-50, set it back over to Thrift, who just seems to kind of be struggling a bit.
Thrift now going to take this over. Oh, that's a wide open net, except Cran comes out of nowhere. I think that save ball just didn't quite have enough juice on it. Now in front of the net once again, a great chance. We do have a Rule 1 over there in the corner. I believe that is Wilds and Quez. Does look like at some point somebody broke it. And we'll have to see, and Thrift puts that in. The Lynx take the 1-0 lead.
You've said it over and over again, Fish, so many opportunities for the Lynx. One has to go in and taking advantage of the 2v2 beautifully. Quez is trying to set it up with a double tap and to even it up right after the kickoff. Is not going to find it. Crayon misses on the rebound. So now the Lynx might just rub salt in the wound and try to get another goal. Quez is fumbling around, trying to stop Crayon, tries to get it clear. Now back to Greed, who's searching for it. Quez gets just one little tap, but it's not enough for the deflection from the Lynx. They're continuing to put pressure on the Barracudas.
Cran and Greed combined to clear that one away, and now it's Quez's turn as he looks to even up game 5 at one aside. Greed shot.
Wow.
Can't quite sneak past Adrift. Cran's shot goes wide of the net. And the Lynx hang on, and now Wilds has possession, trying to build on this lead.
Thrift looking for another. It takes a weird bounce right off the ceiling. That leaves it perfectly open for Quez to just try to dribble it into the goal. He's going to be successful in that. We're tied again.
No words for that goal by Quez. He just air dribbled it, hit it right on the crossbar so it launches into the net. That's a fantastic play. Can the Barracudas get one back? Yes, they can.
And they're just immediately going to negate that.
Yeah, they're like, that's a cool goal. What if I just score one on an open net? Wilds takes advantage of a great setup by Adrift.
It's a great setup.
Again. Oh, this time Cran was ready for it. They might have one here, though. Thrift!
Oh, my God.
I mean, the Lynx are like the flashiest team in this whole event. They just scored these goals that are just absolutely wild. And now they've got a 3-1 lead in game 5. 2.5 minutes left. They've been here once before. They couldn't hold it in game 1, Jem. We'll see if they can hold it now in game 5.
A 2-goal lead is something the Barracudas have overcome in the past. But Thrift with this air dribble trying to make it 3-goal lead. Not going to find it. Quez with a pop off the roof. It's left for Adrift. Just keeping the vice turned on the Barracudas. Still unable to get their clear. Thrift, just an easy tap, gonna slowly play it past you. Ball has way too much air for that one. Has to be grounded. Left for Greed. Thrift steals it away from him. And the Barracudas are just running nowhere fast.
They cannot get it clear. Finally, Greed gets 1, 2 touches on the ball. Wilds, Thrift, and Quez kind of all combined for a save on that one. Adrift will clear that away. We get a demo right in front, wide open net. Wilds racing Cran. And Wilds gets another touch on it. 4-1 Lynx here in game 5. And they are ready for that date with the Scorpions here if they can hold on to this lead.
And that was perfectly timed off the demo to Quez. It was just in the most painful position, respawning only to see the ball trickle into the goal. Nothing you can do about it. Adrift now taking the ball. It's going to leave it for Thrift. A tap from Wilds keeps the ball going fast back toward Barracudas. Wilds with a shot on goal. He's going to find it again.
Our final games of both of our series today have kind of just been letdowns, right? We saw the Scorpions kind of murder the Vipers 7-1 after that series had been pretty close, and now in what's been a back-and-forth series, the Lynx, a 5-1 lead here heading into the final 60 seconds. Wouldn't rule out the Barracudas just yet, but it's going to take a short miracle here as Quez going to go up for it. Great little touch on it, but it's wide of the net, and the Lynx, now they start preparing for the Scorpions after this marathon of a series, Jeff.
Last chance for the Barracudas. Greed to move in, but he doesn't have a follow-up. Wes is going to save from that clear going forward, but adrift. Huge shot, deflect from Wilds. That might have gone in without Wilds, but Lynx are just going to have to dust themselves off. Try to maybe waterfall it in as Thrift is trying to do here. Quez answers that back. Even with the clear there, only 15 seconds left. Unless something massive from the Barracudas can happen right now, the Lynx are going to have this.
Yeah, I don't think we're scoring 4 goals in 8 seconds, Jim. I think the Lynx are going to take this one home. It was a great series. Again, another series tonight where the final score of the final game really isn't indicative of how tight this was. As we hit 0 seconds, I believe that was Cran who will put it in to make it 5-2 a final score. But at the end of the day, the Lynx claim the W, and they'll move on to the semifinals versus the Scorpions, Jim.
Well, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, the Lynx take down the Barracudas and set up a semifinal match with the Scorpions, who are asking so many time, Fish, how did the Lynx not to get the goals they were up for? I think they were just storing up karma for the last game, and it came through.
It absolutely blew the doors off the Barracudas. But again, these two teams meet either maybe in lower finals, grand finals. I mean, that series is going to be super tight, but I am excited to see. I believe we have our semifinal up next. So one team's going to be locked in the grand finals, the Lynx and Scorpions. I can't wait.
Yep, we're going to find out who moves on to the grand finals, as the winner's final match between Scorpions and Lynx is going to be right after this break. So you are not going to want to go away. We'll be back with the conclusion of tonight's events after these messages.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League, broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena. It's time for our winners finals between the Lynx and Scorpions. One of these teams will move on to the grand finals, and the other has to fight through in the lower bracket. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Michael Fish Fisher, and I could not think of a better matchup, Fish, to end this night than the team that's been on top and won so many tournaments to the team that's gotten to the finals and having their tournament wins stolen by said aforementioned team.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically, I think, been our grand finals match at least once, if not twice. I mean, the Lynx have been there almost every single time. And again, this is one of those where, if you're the Lynx, if you win, you have to realize you might have to beat the Scorpions again. So, and that's kind of where the Lynx have, they always, always the runner-up. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, start of the night, I think if you said, hey, look, I think Lynx Scorpions will probably be in winners finals, I don't think anyone would have probably been shocked. I think these are the two top teams. The Barracudas have been really kind of the wild card. They've been up, they've been down, they've been all over the place. So I'm excited to see this. Both these teams had very close series that were kind of marred by blowout final games. I don't think people are going to realize how well the Vipers played against the Scorpions and how close that Barracuda series was, because you look at the final score, 7-1, 5-2, you're like, these were blowout series. No, they were not. These teams had to do everything in their power. We'll see. We take a look. I think it's some of the replays coming up here as we take a look at our lineups heading into the semifinals, or this semifinals game.
Yeah, and you see some of the players we've been talking about all here tonight. Wilds, Gababy, Adrift, Thrift, Nano, Protato, all players experienced in their own right. We can see some of the plays that have gotten them toward this point where they're going to face off in the winners finals to show you why these two teams are so evenly matched and can make the plays they need, starting with the Scorpions.
Yeah, I mean, the Scorpions, again, this is that Game 3 blowout that I know. Again, don't want to give the Vipers any sort of lack of credit. They absolutely played their minds out for most of the series. But we talked about the Scorpions just simply don't make mistakes. They're going to limit their scoring opportunities. I think in the 3-game series, I think the Vipers scored 2 goals, Jem, which is absolutely unheard of. I mean, they were not going to let you get many scoring opportunities. They're going to punish you offensively. I mean, they're just a very well-rounded and very just mechanically skilled team.
Yeah, quite a team to go up against in the winners finals, but they have their match with the Lynx here. We're going to see how they got to the finals, and the Lynx are definitely an explosive team to watch. They had so many opportunities to try to get goals, and they played their hearts out to try to get every goal they can. It just seems sometimes the soccer ball was against them, but they found a way overall to pull out the victory.
Yeah, they had a bunch of goals, and as you said, they probably could have had a bunch more. I mean, this easily could have been a 3-0 series for the Lynx if Game 1 they give up a kind of fluke goal to Greed, then they end up losing in overtime, or really, anything can happen. So, as much as this was a 5-game series that we just watched that kind of came down to the very end, the Lynx easily could have 3-0'd the Barracudas and kind of cruised on their way. So, exciting matchup. History says the Scorpions probably get the job done because they beat them time and time again, but that's usually been in the grand finals. Maybe since we're not in the grand finals, maybe the Lynx will get it done and send the Scorpions down a lower bracket. I don't think saying this is probably going 5 games is really an absurd take as we get ready to kick off game number 1.
Who will move into the grand finals next week? The Scorpions and Lynx are going to face off in the first semifinals of tonight's proceedings. Here we go into the action. See everyone lined up on the field, ready to start playing. The clock's going to tick down. Thrift is going to break away with that kickoff, trying to set something up, but Protato being there to try to put a dent in the Lynx's plans. Nano sets it up, but Gababy has to go up a good bit of ways to keep the play going. Now Protato with the tap. His head backs toward the ground. Right now, it's just kind of that scrappy fighting back and forth in mid with no team getting the true advantage.
Nano going to put one down towards the goal, but Wilds was hanging out. Able to get a stop on that one as Thrift can't quite clear it away. Nano looking for a pass over Potato. Ball bounces right underneath him, unfortunately, and the Lynx get a bit of a break. And now they have a chance to score a goal here as Adrift just rips a shot. That's a bit high.
Back off the corner. Not quite sure he's passing it to there. Wilds is going to leave it way back on the field, back toward their own goal. And the Lynx, their defense just a bit lacking there.
Yeah, Lynx pushed a bit too far forward. And it's Nano and the Scorpions who strike first here in game number 1. Lynx racing up, though. Adrift with a great chance here. Going to pass it over to Wild. Maybe looked like him and Thrift had a bit of a miscommunication. Eventually Wild does take it. Tried to waterfall it down. Potato was all over that. The follow-up though nearly goes in from a drift, but Gababy makes a great save.
The ironclad defense of the Scorpions paying off as Gababy continues to dribble this up the field. Nano's looking for the play, but Thrift reads it. Just deflects it off to the side. Picks up his own boost. Now tries to juke it around Potato. Unable to do so. So Drift is going to try to take a shot at it. Nano gets a tap, keeping the side control for the Scorpions. Off to Wilds. It bounces off of Potato before it can cross midfield mark. Now Gababy is going to try to look for the goal against Thrift, but Adrift with some nice disruption saves it for the Lynx.
Potato barely gets that one around Wild, so he does get demoed in the process, so that will kind of stop the Scorpions' momentum with the ball. Gababy and Nano going to have a nice little crossing pattern there, maybe confuse the Lynx a little bit as Wild just missed on the ball, flies back down to the earth, and it's a wide open net, but unfortunately that ball is just a bit outside.
Gababy passes to Nano. Wilds is there, but he's, oh, wow. They play it over him in a drift. Just barely manages to rotate behind him and save. Nail-biting save for the Lynx, who've managed to keep the Scorpions to just 1 goal.
Still 2.5 minutes left. The Lynx can put up 3-4 goals in that amount of time, but right now they've just had to be on defense most of this game as Wild, with a great bounce off the floor. The net's wide open. It hits off the crossbar, and Thrift with the follow-up. It's a great demo by Wild, too. It's going to tie up this game at 1.
Next kickoff. Gababy with the demo mid just is going to give the Scorpions another demo right in toward the Lynx. Nano's not going to be able to capitalize on that and get a goal, but pretty forceful play by the Scorpions. Another shot on goal saved by Wilds. Riff with just 1 tap, back across the field. Gababy is going to get played over by Wilds. Drift is only going to be able to bounce it off the wall. They're looking for their positioning, but the Scorpions are kind of surrounding them.
Wilds going to carry that all the way over the opposite corner, but Nano had a great read on that. 90 seconds left. Nano, he wanted to leave it for Potato, but Potato went for the demo, but it works out anyway. Gababy's there for the follow-up. Nearly a massive mistake. The Scorpions make it work. It's 2-1.
Off the next kickoff, Gababy trying to instantly make something happen. Wilds is able to push across the field. They center it up again, leaving it for Adrift to clear. Gababy plays over them. Now Thrift as the backup, keeps the clear going. Drift just off the front post. Is there a follow-up? Tries to knock it in himself. Great try and follow-up by Wilds. How does that not go in? They finally get it on the 3rd try.
That just shows you how strong the Scorpions defense are. Those were some great shots, and it took 3 to finally go into the back of the net, and the Scorpions once again give up their lead. The Lynx make it 2-2, 60 seconds left. Huge opportunity to make a statement in this series if you can win game number 1. Who's going to be able to get it done? Wild's going to lob it down there. Adrift is racing. Gababy does just enough to redirect it. He does get demoed. Chance here in the 3-on-2. Drift passes it back, but there's nobody there. Now Wild take a shot. It's a little bit wide.
Nice step from Drift. Drift can't get up high enough to dunk it in. Might leave it open for the Scorpions. Drift with 1 tap. Gababy trying to get up there, just manages to get the tap. Back to Potato. It's a shot toward the goal, and Adrift has to knock that back to the side.
Drift is there. Ooh, if they can get this clear. Drift was kind of all alone, but with 14 seconds, Gababy puts the Scorpions in the lead, and now the Lynx are going to have to rally here off this kickoff.
Maybe a rally there as Wild's going to set it up. They have to take it away from Potato or play around him and knock it over him. But the ball's taking some weird bounces, not allowing them to get behind it and get the shots they wanted. And ultimately, it's going to be the Scorpions winning that in the last few seconds of the game. It puts them at the first advantage.
Yeah, that was a back-and-forth game till the very end. Scorpions held the advantage early for the most part and kind of just used that, plus a great goal with Gababy with 14 seconds left. But again, I mean, we talked about the Scorpions in their first matchup, Jem. Their defense is almost airtight. I mean, we saw on that the second goal the Lynx scored, it was 3 attempts, and then that one barely snuck in, and those were all high-quality shots. So, again, the Lynx are going to have to find ways to score goals, multiple attempts on the back of the net, because the Scorpions are just not going to allow kind of these lob shot goals or these super fast aerials to go in. So it's going to be their work cut out from it. I mean, these are the 2 top teams. They've met each other so much. They know all their strengths and weaknesses. I have no doubt the Lynx can easily turn this series around here and it'll take a Game 2 win.
And they might beat themselves again in the grand finals. Remember, these are just the semis. Whoever loses this goes down to the lower brackets. The coaches themselves said they think this match is kind of going to be a preview of the grand finals. So these 2 teams are not done with each other by any stretch of the imagination. Gababy trying to set it up, pushes it right in front of the goal. Thrift knocks it off to the corner. And the Lynx starting off with some scary defense.
One touch on it. Gababy trying to set something up. The Scorpions offense, as you said, has been very scary so far in this series. So Thrift makes a nice solo play. Gets it around 1, gets it around 2. A drift kind of just brute forces that one in, but it gets stuck on the goal line. Wild. Great touch on it, but it does look like Potato is going to end up with his ball. Never mind. Thrift gets a great challenge. Wild's off the back wall. The Nano's there.
Plays it off the wall. Gababy knocks it over to the other side. Nano to dribble it up, gets demoed mid-dribble. Baby is going to be there as the savior for the Scorpions. Nano unable to get a tap on that, so it's up to Potato off the respawn, but a lot of pressure from the Lynx.
Thought maybe Nano was going to put that in on his own goal with the way he was heading on that ball. Still possession for the Lynx. Wilds, great shot. Kind of hits it away from his car. Catches everybody going the wrong direction. The Lynx take the lead here in game number 2. Uh-oh. Well, so much for that lead.
Yeah, we've seen the Lynx score goals that fast, and now it's time for the Scorpions to put any dent in that momentum. Game's all tied back up now. Potato wins that kickoff again. It's Wilds to answer back. Scorpions on the back foot. A Drift trying to sneak it into the goal.
Oh no.
They might have played up too far. In fact, they did. And Thrift left chasing after the ball. Scorpions now in the lead.
Tried to go for a demo on the Nano and might have just got a nose on it. The Lynx and Scorpions take the lead really off of no doing of their own. We'll have to see if the Lynx can come back in this one. A Drift up on the wall. Baby with a nice challenge, and it'll go over to the other side where Potato is waiting, and oh, that could have been a near dagger scoring goal, but instead it's still 2-1.
Oh! Wow. Talk about live by the sword, die by the sword. Scorpions left chasing after that one. The Lynx capitalize on a bit of over-rotation. Now we've got a match on our hands. Potato pushes it over to Gababy for the clear. Looks like that's going to go through. The Drift is left chasing after it. Incoming Wilds and Thrift. A Drift trying to keep it up in the air, but unable to leave it for anybody. So Scorpions now doing a good job of disrupting the Lynx, pushing them around and trying to set up the goal for themselves. Potato sees it, but it just bounces off the post.
Nano is there, gonna look to center it, but Thrift's having none of that. Great shot down, gets past a couple of members of the Scorpions. Now Thrift's gonna get a touch on it again. He's gonna put it nearly in front of the net. Gababy was there. Wilds, we realizing he will retreat. That clear attempt did not work. A Drift gets it over Potato, and through the demo smoke, we see the goal animation, and the Lynx find the go-ahead goal here in game number 2.
Drift, the first one to that kickoff, knocks it back toward the Scorpions. Side control looks like it's going to be maintained. In fact, quick shot on goal off the crossbar from a Drift. Lynx are looking to make their lead a little bit bigger. Let's rotate up just off of the wall, leaving it for Thrift. And again, the shot's wide off to the side. They're not going to be able to score the goal that way.
Centering the ball kind of right back to Potato. One stop by Wild, second by Thrift. He does a great job redirecting it over to that side goal post, and that allows for a huge clear one-on-one. A Drift first, Potato. Potato with a great read. He's going to stop that ball, and now a chance for the Scorpions. 90 seconds left, but I think Thrift is going to clear this right out of his own net. Just try and get that ball out of harm's way. That's exactly what he'll do.
Oh, but look at an unexpected shot from Nano to tie it up. That was both Gababy and Nano. Gababy just kind of stopped midfield and did a backflip. Completely killed the momentum of that ball.
3-3 once again. See if either team can find an opening in regulation here. Striff makes a nice save. Nano with a touch on it. Potato one more chance. Adrift will make that save. Here comes Gababy, maybe trying to center this one over to Nano, but he can't quite corral it. Now's a chance for Adrift. Gonna get hunted. He's gonna get demoed on here with 50 seconds left.
Gababy to set it up. Wilds tries to take a shot back, but bounces back off of him, off into Lynx's own corner. Now the shot up, just a little bit too high. Gababy keeping the pressure on. Potato rotates back to slow played around Wild, and is now dribbling it himself, leaving it for Gababy. Now Nano with the follow-up is actually going to wait for that. Oh my. Wow, that's unfortunate.
This has had so many twists and turns, and we're only in game 2. Oh, that could have even made it been the insurance goals. There's still 15 seconds left. That's enough time for the Scorpions to potentially tie this. Potato just off the crossbar. And the Lynx racing down. That will be enough to do it. 5-3 with 4 seconds left. The Lynx survive a wild game number 2.
Unfortunate misplay by the Scorpions is going to mean that they have to go to at least a game 4 if they want to try to find a win. As the ball touches the ground, that's going to do it for game 2. I'm still kind of wondering what happened in that last play, because I thought for sure Nano was going to move in there as the follow-up, but then it seemed like he kind of slow played, almost like he didn't quite want to rotate up too far, but then in doing that, he took so much time to change the play that the ball just rolled past him anyway.
I mean, I think Wilds was in a great position as well. I mean, that kind of looked, as you talked about, you had Nano with the follow-up. You were just going to race it past. And Wilds, I mean, read that play. Maybe, again, comes from playing each other. Maybe they kind of recognized the situation. And, again, there were so many chances for the Scorpions. I mean, the big one, I think, in my opinion, is what it was. Potato hits it off the side crossbar, and then that ball immediately gets ricocheted by Adrift Lemming, goes in the back of the net. Probably should have been 3-1 Scorpions. Instead, it's 2-2, and that kind of changed that whole game. That let the Scorpions kind of take over. But, man, I mean, that's probably one of the – that May game's been the most mistakes we've probably seen from the Scorpions all summer invitational, and there were maybe like 3 of them.
Well, the Scorpions are starting to make mistakes. That could be the opening for the Lynx if they can maintain their level of skill. They have a great chance of beating their longtime rivals and moving on to the grand finals. Let's see how it turns out in game 3.
A lot of disruption on this kickoff. Thrift eventually gets it. We'll get a demo, but the ball will be launched off to the side, where Nano and Potato should be able to corral it. Adrift with a nice dunk, plus a nice demo in net. A little bit of a scary moment there, but luckily for the Scorpions, no one could really get there in time for the Lynx to capitalize.
Nano goes flying past the ball. Drift now back over, gets a tap, passes to Adrift, and misses. Now Potato, one shot, Drift steals it away from him. Maybe back over to the wall. Drift's opening here. Potato's just going to play it off their own crossbar to prevent the shot on goal.
Oh, nice steal from Adrift, but unfortunately it's a bit wide. Another demo in front of the net. Ball just kind of bouncing there. Finally a nice clear from Nano and Gababy, and now Potato's racing down. Can he beat Adrift to the ball? He cannot. This is going to get possession over to the Lynx. Wild looks to corral it. Oh, what a great pass. Adrift was just a smidge in front of that ball, so it doesn't quite work out.
Drift with one tap around the corner. Potato opening things up for Gababy. Beaten to the punch by the Lynx. Nano with the follow-up. Wilds knocks that back toward mid. Adrift moves up. Disrupting Potato. Now Gababy back, plays it around one. Tries to center it. Nano unable to follow up, and this could be it. Yeah, Wilds running that interference, letting Adrift just walk it in.
That's great recognition by Wild, realizing there's only one man who can stop this play, and I'm just going to take Potato out of it. Drives him into the corner. The Lynx score first here in game number 3. best-of-5 series is Thrift all alone in a 1-on-3, somehow still makes a stop. Now we get a demo. This could be an opportunity, but Nano with a great dunk. Gonna make sure nothing happens in the 3-on-2.
Back into mid. A demo takes place. Oh, it just flies right back over Gababy. I wasn't even able to gather my thoughts there.
We are tied once again. That was a great pass over to Gababy. Uh-oh, Nano has a chance here. We get another demo. We are demo happy, and Thrift loses the ball. Potato puts the Scorpions back out in front.
All it took was a little less than 10 seconds, and Scorpions are back in the lead. Gababy. Thrift is left chasing after that one. Nano plays it around him. It almost heads in. Wilds with the save. Heads back over to Thrift, and a drift to read it back toward the goal. Potato tried to save it, but it actually centers the ball, allowing Lynx to score.
Good job by a Drift. Didn't panic, didn't try and make a play. Just kind of waited for that ball. Really bounce off the spoiler. But all of a sudden, Nano had the angle on an open net, but couldn't quite set it up. And now it's Drift. One tap off the wall, two taps off the wall. Sets it up perfectly for a Drift who lobs it toward the net. But Gababy is there. Goes over his teammate's head, so nothing happens from that play.
Potato is going to play it himself. Nano is disrupted enough. He can't follow up, so now a Drift on the clear. Might just do it himself. It gets saved at the last moment by Nano.
Fantastic play by a Drift. Now it's Drift's turn. Wild's going to come launching in. Ball doesn't quite take the hop. The Lynx won it, but it's a one-on-one, and for the first time all night, the one-on-one goes to the attacker as a Drift puts a great goal in to give the Lynx the lead.
We've seen this scenario before. 1-goal leads. Very easy to overcome. Scorpions are trying to make that happen. Wilds takes it away from them. Thrift to run interference. Tries to split it in. It bounces off the crossbar. But Lynx are hungry for that 2-goal lead. Can they get it? Gonna have to play around Nano and Gababy. Nano puts it off to the corner. Gababy follows up to get the clear. A pass back to Nano over Thrift. Can they save? And they just barely do. The Lynx managing to survive.
Thrift, one touch on it. Maybe looking for a second. Gets kind of turned over, unfortunately. Great stop by Wilds. Kind of killed all of the momentum the Scorpions had racing up the field. 60 seconds left. Wild's going to pop it up over one. Gababy sets it up. Thrift, nice save. Get that ball away from his net. And Wild just going to blast it down.
Nano passes to Gababy, who clears it way back over toward the goal, but Wilds reads it, and it's another lawn bomber back across the field. Thrift to set it up and actually sneaks it in from the corner.
That is a huge goal. That gives the Lynx now a 2-goal lead. Heading into the final 45 seconds. Still enough time for the Scorpions, but the Lynx have been putting up goals in bunches, and a Drift might just do it one more time. Tries to fake out Nano, can't quite do it. Thrift off the back wall. It'll be turned away by Gababy here, and we get to the final 30 seconds. But the Scorpions needed a massive rally to win game number 3, or at least get even into overtime.
Half of a minute left for the Scorpions' potential rally. Potato's left chasing after it. Gababy and Nano set it up, and things might be in the realm of possibility here for the Scorpions. 17 seconds left to get the equalizer.
Kickoff's going to be huge. Goes over to Wilds, though Gababy does get a touch on it. Chance for Potato, but Thrift is there. And now the Lynx have to play keep away for 7 seconds. Nano steals it. One last chance, and Gababy puts it in. Down 2 goals in the final 40 seconds. The Scorpions have tied game 3. I think we're heading to overtime here, depending on what this ball does. It might even be a chance for Potato to end it. But it goes wide, and we reset for overtime.
Wild's unable to take that kickoff. Instead, it's going over to Nano. Leaves it for Potato. The back flip from the Lynxes might open it up for them. Wilds is already trying to knock out the goalies. It's going to be unsuccessful in doing so, however. Drifts pushes it back to the goal. Wilds is looking for the follow-up. A demo out on the field, but it's on the Lynxes, it looks like. That buys enough time for the Scorpions to clear.
Drift, one touch on it. Now it's Wild's turn to clear it down. He's gonna elevate for it, trying to take a shot. Just a bit high as the Drift keep it away from Potato. Now it's Drift's turn. Oh, that's a huge miss by Gababy. That could be the misplay that runs this game, but luckily Nano's able to keep this ball out of his own net. And now the Scorpions can set up on the attack.
Drift, fancy footwork. Almost beats Potato and Nano to the ball. They're left chasing after it. Now Lynx are still trying to find their winning goal. We're over a minute into this overtime. The Scorpions are left scrambling at this sudden life that we're seeing from the Lynx.
Finally, the first real good shot of overtime for the Scorpions, but is turned away by a Drift. Drift, even trying to look for a ball fake there, but didn't find it. Oh, Wild barely gets that ball over. Nano ends overtime. Give the Scorpions the win.
Characteristic Scorpions fashion, they're just content to kind of lay in wait for just that one shot. They can have a whole minute where it seems they're on the back foot, but then they're really good at finding the one time when they're clear, when they get their clear, and then in that crucial 5 seconds being able to so quickly rotate up the field and score.
Yeah, I mean, they are never out of it. I mean, it was, again, 4-2 with 45 seconds left. Looked like probably was going to be a Lynx victory, but Scorpions tied up with 3 seconds on the clock, and then really it felt like the Lynx had the better opportunities in overtime, but the Scorpions found that one clear. Wilds got it up in the air the first save, but Nano barely squeaks it under the crossbar, and now the Scorpions one game away from the grand finals. We'll see if the Lynx can turn this around and take it all, but they're going to have to win 2 games in a row against the Scorpions, which is a near monumental task for anybody to beat them twice in a row.
Already, Gababy is going to try to put the hurt onto the Lynx. Not going to be able to find a goal that early. One of the Lynx actually gets demoed in trying to clear. So quickly it goes back in control of the Scorpions. Rotato to set it up. Gababy is slow playing it right there. Nano just sneaks it by.
Nano just kind of lobbed that ball, just kind of brute forced it in past the defense, and Scorpions strike first here in game 4. Rotato's going to lob it down. This one doesn't quite go in, though. But again, the Scorpions kind of have all the momentum after how that game 3 ended, and it's showing. So Gababy barely misses blowing this lead wide open.
Rotato could have rotated in there, but was cautious, and it's paying off. He's able to defend. Gababy elevating up. It's right in front of the goal. Nano's able to beat the Lynx to the ball, get the clear. Can they center it? Rotato, the shot over to Gababy. 2 members of the Lynx trying to defend against that one.
Still a chance here for the Scorpions to extend this lead, but unfortunately neither Rotato nor Nano were able to really get a touch on the ball. Gababy with the steal. The net's wide open, but unfortunately the shot was so slow, the Lynx could recover. Another shot, another save, and Nano will put it in, and it's now 2-0 Scorpions here in game 4.
This is going to be the time where the Lynx really have to buckle down and try to clear their minds, just play it one play at a time. Are they going to be able to do that as Potato moves up the field? Around the corner to try to center. Nano unable to make the play. So it's still going to be fought over quite scrappily in mid.
He's going to find a way to get some offense. No shots in the first 2 minutes of this game 4. Remember, this is a best of 5. This is match point for the Scorpions. So far, they are looking really good right now. Potato even going to extend this lead. Wild makes a great save, gets it around 1, gets it around another. This is a chance for the Lynx to maybe shrink this lead. Wild's going to go in reverse, take the boost. And there it is. Thrift puts 1 on the board, and the Lynx are down 1.
Still a bit of a ways to go to tie it up, but the Lynx are looking good. Gababy wins that kickoff, but Wilds has been the one to follow up the kickoffs really fast and turn things around quickly. It's not going to turn into a goal. Nano elevates up to just leave it for Potato, but doesn't find it.
Wild, Thrift, both on defense, 1 touch. Nice dodge on the demo from Thrift as well. And They can start to maybe get this ball out of their own side here in the final 2 minutes. Try and keep this game and their grand final hopes alive. Nano shot turned away. He still has possession in an open net. And Nano makes it 3-1 Scorpions with 2:12 on the clock.
Seems to be really good at just finding those split-second opportunities and capitalizing on them. He's going to capitalize on this kickoff, winning. Adrift with the rebound, however. Puts Scorpions on back foot. And, well, Thrift kind of emulating Nano there, getting a goal really fast and putting this back into a one-goal game.
Kind of the inverse of what we've seen all series long. Usually it's been the Lynx who score and then the Scorpions who strike back in a matter of moments. But this time, the Lynx have kept this game in check. Only 1 goal down, still 2 minutes remaining. Trying to get us to a do-or-die game 5 as Wild. It's a nice demo, and unfortunately Nano has possession. He's trying to put this game away. Nice clear by Adrift, though he will be demoed in exchange. But Wild and Thrift hold on until he's able to respawn. And the great pinch there down to Wild, who just sets it up beautifully. And it's a 3-3 game, Jim.
Well, now the Scorpions have quite a roadblock in their path to victory. Trying to recover, trying to push it around Adrift, Rotato. Unable to do so, Adrift gets control of it and demos Gababy in the corner. Now Thrift quickly centers it up to Wilds to dunk it down. Rotato beats him to it, and follow up by Nano. Almost gets the clear. But Thrift still allowing the Lynx to keep putting shots on goal. Gababy to elevate up and take it away from them.
Nano rips the shot. Wilds turns it away. Can either team win in regulation, or will we have another overtime game? Thrift tried to sneak it in. Baby was there. Wild's going to take the shot. It's off the crossbar. Huge clear by Potato. But Thrift's just going to pass it over to his teammate and prevent any sort of shenanigans from happening here.
On the wall, Wilds follows to try to just dribble it down. Unsuccessful in that thanks to Gababy. Chases after the ball in mid. It gets played over. Unexpected shot from... Wow, from Adrift puts the Lynx in the lead.
Been here before. Lynx lead late in the game. Game 3 they couldn't hold on and lost in overtime. What can they do in game 4 here? Backs against the wall, trying to extend this series. Nano barely misses. Drift looking for the demo onto Potato, couldn't find it, but Adrift will just bump him out of the way, get the steal. 10 seconds left. Can the Lynx hold on? A goal here would nearly end it. Nano with the save, but Wild says we're going to game 5 as he puts it in the back of the net. And the Lynx lead is 2 with 5 seconds left.
Barring a very crazy kickoff, which doesn't look like that's the case, Lynx are going to get the win and drive it to the final possible game. You said at the beginning of this match, Fish, you wouldn't be surprised if it was driven to a game 5, and that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, I mean, in the closest way possible. I mean, the Lynx blow the lead when they could have gone up to match point, and the Scorpions, in a game to advance them to the grand finals, blow the lead. I have no idea what to expect in this last game. I mean, we might be here for a while because, I mean, an overtime feels inevitable, and a 5, 6, 7-minute overtime, I mean, the way these teams are playing, not out of the realm of possibility at any stretch.
Well, you're putting fear into my heart now because you've been so accurate with your predictions thus far. So, yeah, but it would be quite a fitting end to this battle. Real knockdown, drag 'em out between these two teams. Lots of great plays. Few mistakes here and there, but overall, both these teams seem to be playing at their peak performance. So now we're going to head into the Game 5 and see who wins the winners finals for the Esports Tower Summer Invitational final tournament before we head into the fall season. So let's get into it and see who will be setting themselves up for a better spot in the grand finals. So remember, whoever loses here, they can still make it to the grand finals, but they're in a bracket reset position, so this victory is going to mean a lot.
Yeah, and you're going to have to maybe either play the Vipers again. You might have to beat the Barracudas if you're the Scorpions. There's a lot of tough teams left. It is no given that the loser of this is just going to, be penciled into the grand finals. As right now, Drift a nice clear down. Nano's been really kind of the sleeper for the Scorpions. He's had so many goals in this series. You've got to keep an eye on him if you're the Lynx. Right now, it's Thrift. Plays it off the wall. Oh, Wild just mistake the angle, but it doesn't matter. He recovers and scores. I look like the idiot because he didn't miss a thing, and the Lynx score first.
Yeah, that was some beautiful slow play by Wilds, just waiting a few seconds to take the shot. It works out for him. And the ball's high up in the air. Potato is going to leave it for Nano. Ball heads off to the corner. How can Thrift defend? He played around Gababy. Gababy looks like he's able to force a drift in to take the shot. Now Nano, one shot. It's high up and Thrift can't elevate up quick enough. So now it's left up to Potato. The pass back to Gababy. He runs right into Thrift, and the Thrift is just going to dribble it up the field. Almost get the goal, but runs right into the left post.
Trying to wait till the final possible second. Sneaky past Nano, but I think Nano had more speed than he expected. Thrift off the rebound. Gababy is there. Drift not going to let this play go. Going to try and make pass to Wild. Makes the correct decision. Retreats. And Nano ends up getting a nice touch on this. Ball over Wild. Potato shot uncharacteristically wide of the net, which was basically open. Huge mistake there for Scorpions in Game 5.
Gababy is trying to recover. He's only able to drive it toward mid before the Lynx are able to stop him. Wilds pushes it past Potato, leaves it for a drift, and another goal for the Lynx. Pushes them up 2.
We're going to get another blowout in Game 5. The Lynx already did it once to the Barracudas. 2-0 lead right now, but can't count out the Scorpions just yet. They've had so many great comebacks in this series. 3:11 on the clock, still plenty of time, and a drifting company looking to extend this lead. Nice steal by Gababy, though. Thrift. Oh, he doesn't make the save. I thought this was an easy one. And it bounces in just like that. Nano, who else makes this a 1-goal game?
Scorpions aren't going to be counted out by a long shot. Nano almost gets the better of that kickoff, but a Drift was just waiting to play it out. Leaves it for Thrift to just try to sneak it in. Pass back to Thrift. Back over him and goes to Gababy. Looked to be some early pressure, instead turns into a Scorpions clear.
Great chance here for the Lynx to build on this lead. We've seen 2-goal leads evaporated. Maybe you need 3, maybe you need 4 at this point. Get the second half of Game 5. Nano with a nice lob down. Wilds is there. 1 touch, 2 touches. Still in Gababy's possession though. Nano sets it up perfectly in front of the net. Potato couldn't get there in time.
Drift gets a slight tap. It flies past one of the Lynx. Possible opportunity for the Scorpions, but Wilds cleans it up. Heads back down toward Gababy in the corner. Plays past the Drift, and Nano with the redirect there. You cannot count him out. He can be explosive on those.
Ooh, triple commit there for the Lynx. Even bumping into each other, but they end up surviving. Time is starting to tick down on the Scorpions here. Wilds waiting. Potato with a nice challenge. Gababy with 1 more touch. But a Drift's going to steal it away, and Gababy makes a huge save. Potato bumping Thrift out of the way. Here comes Wilds. That one's turned away by Nano. 1 more chance for a Drift. Potato will save it again. And the Scorpions somehow don't allow a goal in that situation.
It's always risky to back pass it for a save. It almost paid for the Scorpions, but Nano is going to be looking to try to even this up as he moves up the field, takes the boost away from the Lynx. Gababy pushes it up and around toward the corner, but into 2 Lynx, who deflected right back toward midfield. Wilds also gets a demo in midfield. Look out for Nano, though. Still might be able to find a goal. Not going to be able to with the Drift and Wilds defending that.
45 seconds. We've seen the Scorpions here before. They had a great comeback, and Nano right on cue, his second of the game. And it is 2-2. Why not? This has been an absolutely fantastic series, but Thrift wants the goal back. 1-on-1, him versus Nano, and he wins that easy. And the Lynx back in front, the great answer.
Yeah, that was almost like a hockey shootout there. They were both just trying to wait to outplay each other. Here we go, the Drift, 1 shot back to Nano. It's over to Wilds. Moves up, runs right into Gababy in midair. The ball is grounded. Demo out on the field, onto Nano. But Nano now has respawn. The Drift moving in with the next play. Stopped by Protato. Adrift keeps it going on the rebound. Almost gets it in the goal. It's just up and to the left.
Last chance for the Scorpions. 8 seconds. The Lynx can score here. It's game over, and they do. 5 seconds on the clock for the second straight game. The Lynx put in the game-winning goal. And the time will just simply count down. The Lynx will move on to the grand finals. The Scorpions will drop down to our lower bracket. They'll play the winner of the Vipers versus Barracudas and try and claw their way back. But what a series. The Lynx take down their nemesis. But that's only the semifinals. Jem, they're going to have to beat somebody next week in the grand finals to claim their first title.
But it's not discounting how important that win was this week, because they set themselves up in the winner's position for the grand finals. They're going to have at least 2 chances to win now, because the losing team will have to go to a loser's bracket, whoever makes it to the grand finals that way. So good win overall by the Lynx. And if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, the game was so close there at the very end. I would say you could really choose someone from either team to be the player of the game. I mean, we were talking about Nano, who was such a sleeper for the Scorpions. He could easily get it, but if you were to choose?
I mean, I would say, I mean, as you said, Nano's probably the choice if you're going to pick from the Scorpions. I'd say it's probably Thrift if I had to pick someone for the Lynx. I feel like not just in that game, but against their series in the Barracudas, he was usually the one scoring the goals. But, I mean, I really think
they're going to leave it multiple choice.
I mean, you can't be disappointed whoever it is. All right, I mean, again, I think Thrift was the name that came to mind, but you can't complain about Adrift. He had some crazy goals. I mean, he had some crazy saves as well, which, usually, unfortunately, get overshadowed because there's no fantastic explosion, but
well, now Thrift, that's also a possibility, so it could be either one of them.
Is it going to be Wilds or will it be Nano in the final spot?
Yeah, will production leave open the possibility of it being chosen from both teams, or are they just all going to consider the Lynx?
You can't go wrong. I mean, any 6 of these players deserve it. Oh.
Nano. So, yeah, it could be between either of the 2 teams here. I like this.
Who you taking, Jim? You got to pick one.
I brought up Nano first, so I'll go with that.
I'll go with Thrift. I'll stick with you. That's who I brought up first. We'll see who it's going to be.
Well, let's get ready to see who the final choice is for the player of the game tonight. Yeah, it's got to go out of the multiple choice and then back into the actual choice. So more suspense built up. Which of the predictions is going to be correct, or are both of us going to be wrong? Here we're going to find out. And the actual player of the game is, in fact, Adrift.
I want to say, I think some shenanigans went on in production. I think they picked who we didn't pick, but again, that's no shade towards Adrift. I mean, the man played incredible. I mean, again, there's times where I'd like to see if he was actually teleporting or not, because he would be in one goal and then be in the other goal 5 seconds later. That's a well-deserved player of the game for Adrift. Him, Wilds, and Thrift, this team is so dang good. I hope they finally get over the hump, Gem. I hope they finally win the grand finals next week, because they've basically done everything else but win a grand finals at this point.
The ICCU Play of the Game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like ICCU is helping members achieve financial success. Adrift Lemming is going to be your player of the game for this week. Well, we've set everything up for the grand finals next week. Fish, do you have any final thoughts?
I'm really excited to see how next week goes. I mean, you could tell me probably any of the matchups, and I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, maybe the Vipers would be one. But, again, they had a great series. I mean, it was a 1-0 game at one point. So, but, I mean, you tell me it's Lynx Barracudas, I'll believe you. You tell me it's Lynx Scorpions, I'll believe you. I mean, again, I even think if you said Lynx Vipers, I could see how that could be possible. So I have no idea how the lower bracket's going to go. It's going to be a ton of fun to see who ends up coming out and who gets to play this red-hot Lynx team who is gunning for that first title. I don't think anyone wants a title more than the Lynx, because they've just been so close, and it's been stolen away from them every single time.
Well, congratulations to all of our team on an exciting night of Rocket League in our Round 4 bracket stage. All the teams had fantastic performances and are set up for some thrilling matches next week. The Lynx await the winner of the lower bracket in the grand finals, and any one of our 3 teams could meet them there. So you're going to want to make sure you tune in next week at 6 p.m. p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our final champion of the Summer Invitational. We'll close out with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Thank you for watching us tonight, and enjoy your top 5 plays.
Already dug yourself a very deep hole. It's still 3.5 minutes left, Jen, but 3 goals against the Scorpions feels like almost unheard of at times.
Yeah, 3 goals in 3 minutes and 33 seconds in the 3rd game of the series, and Nano trying to make that 4 goals and leaves it for Potato, who's happy to pick up.
Takes a shot, it's a nice rebound, but unfortunately, no follow-up from the team. A drift is clear, is stolen away. Wild's going to go for the ball, gets a great touch. Unfortunately, does hit off the ceiling, but a drift going to be right there to clear it away. But Quez just going to grab possession, will do it all over again. There's a demo on the goalie, and Quez ain't going to miss that open net. Barracuda strikes
Are back in the lead. Baby. Drift is left chasing after that one. Nano plays it around him. It almost heads in. Wilds with the save. Heads back over to Thrift, and a drift to read it back toward the goal. Potato tries to save it, but it actually sent.
Over one, Baby sets it up. Thrift, nice save. Get that ball away from his net. And Wild just going to blast it down.
Nano passes to Gababy, who clears it way back over toward the goal, but Wilds reads it, and it's another long bomber back across the field. Thrift is set up and actually sneaks it in.
They're going to look to center it, but Thrift's having none of that. Great shot down, gets past a couple of members of the Scorpions. Now Thrift's going to get a touch on it again. He's going to put it nearly in front of the net. Gababy was there. Wilds, we realizing he will retreat. That clear attempt did not work. A drift gets it over Potato and through the depth.